Fear stops more people than anything else. That's a bad way to live. If you don't overcome these ghosts of fear, you're probably about as far as you're ever going to go. You know, I began by pointing out that Napoleon Hill said, through all his analysis, all the research that he did over many, many years, he found there was 30 major causes of failure, and there were 13 principles for accumulating a fortune. You could say 13 principles of success if you want. But at the end of the 13 principles, he wrote the 6 ghosts of fear. A lot of people consider that studying that was really the key to being able to execute the 13 principles. Because if you don't handle it, you probably will not enjoy success. You see, fear stops more people than anything else. I want you to think of the number of people that are in a job they don't like, they don't enjoy, they're not doing well, they feel they're underpaid and overworked, but yet they're afraid to quit. I clearly remember many, many years ago, before I ever started to study any of this, I got out of the Navy and I took a course in welding. And I was working for a man who was not a nice person. I had to go from one end of the city to the other to get there. And it was in the winter, and it was heavy, it was snow, it was cold. He treated me terribly. I hated working there. But all the way there, I was afraid I was going to get fired. Isn't it silly? We're doing things we don't like and we don't stop doing them. Why? We're afraid we won't get anything else. That's a bad way to live. Napoleon Hill wrote about it. And he made it very clear, if you don't overcome these ghosts of fear, you're probably about as far as you're ever going to go. When you do overcome these ghosts of fear, it's open highway, it's clear sailing. Now that doesn't necessarily eliminate the fear, but you start to understand what's causing the fear. And so as you start to experience the fear like that, you can correct it, you can eliminate it. And you eliminate it in your mind because that's where it is in the first place. And you eliminate it through understanding. You know, someone said that education is expensive. And I suppose there's good reason for looking at it that way. Many students are leaving school with great debts. There's all kinds of seminars and programs today. They're considered to be, some of them, fairly expensive. The better ones are. I know ours are. It's on frequencies. Your body's functioning on a frequency. It'll move in and out of different frequencies, but that's what it is. And when we stop and think of the frequency we're operating on, we describe that by a feeling. You feel really phenomenal. You're in a very high frequency of thought, and you can take yourself there. You can take yourself there at will. Well, we can do that in the mastermind group, and we can do it so successfully. Now, keep in mind, we've pointed out on a number of these principles that nothing is created or destroyed. Nothing. All the knowledge there ever was or there ever will be is 100%, evenly present in all places at the same time. All the power there ever will be or ever hopes to be is evenly present in all places at the same time. Nothing is created or destroyed. It's such a huge idea to entertain. You and I have the ability to tap into this universal energy and build anything we want. Now, when we do it in a mastermind group, in a group of people that have come together in harmony, you've got phenomenal power. And that's really what you're doing. As a group, you're diving into this sea of wonder. And you're building. And you're all in tune. And so you're picking up energy. And when the group of you come together, everybody moves up. Not just one of you. You all move ahead. You move on to a much higher frequency. Now, you've been aware of this happening, whether it was an organized mastermind group or not. When you come together with another person or a small group of people, and you're really in sync, you're just in sync, and you're really working on something, you start to feel so good. Feeling, conscious awareness of vibration. You're moving on to a higher vibration. That's the purpose of the mastermind group. So you come in and you expose your idea. Then you've got this entire group going to universal intelligence, saying, give us what we need. And because of the high vibration you're in, the attraction becomes awesome. You're sending that out into the universe is sending it all back. Its action, reaction is equal and opposite. You put high energy out, you're going to get high energy back. That's where creation starts. This is how we become super creative. And this is how an ordinary individual can achieve extraordinary results. Why did a guy like myself, with no formal education, 2 months high school, a bad work record, not only broke, in debt, a year later, I was earning $15,000 a month. I had a goal, you see, when I was first given these principles, of earning $25,000. And because I kept focused on it, I was prepared to do anything honest. Didn't matter what it was. Somebody said there's good money cleaning floors. So I got myself a bucket and a mop and a floor machine, and I got an office to clean. Then I got another one, and then another one. I didn't run those by myself. I didn't build those by myself. It was a group of us. It was a mastermind group. We were all in sync. We were all excited about this. We didn't realize that's what we were doing. We were using this principle. But he said, anyone who creates a fortune, a great one or a modest one, has unconsciously or consciously. We did it unconsciously. It doesn't matter whether you're conscious of doing it or unconscious. If you're doing it, you're going to win. Many of the most successful people are doing this. They don't even understand what they're doing. But when they gain an understanding, then they're conscious competence. Prior to that, they're unconscious competence. When a person becomes a conscious competent, they become many times more powerful because they're consciously aware of what they're doing. So they deliberately start to do the right thing. I want you to become a conscious competent insofar as masterminding is concerned. If a poor kid with no formal education and a bad work record can earn $1 million in washing floors in 7 different cities in 3 different countries, I'm quite certain you can accomplish anything you can think of. It's the understanding of the masterminding and the application of the masterminding that gives you the power. And he told you, you need the power. You don't need the knowledge, you need the power. That's the beautiful part. Other members in the group can have the knowledge. Remember what I quoted? The accumulation of great fortunes calls for power. Power is acquired through highly organized and intelligently directed specialized knowledge. But that knowledge doesn't have to be in the possession of the person who accumulates the fortune. Get the mastermind group. Brilliant group of them. All come together. Expose your idea. Get people that are in harmony. Ask for help. Don't be afraid to ask. Don't be afraid to give. Willingly give, graciously receive. They're basic tenets in the masterminding. You willingly give, you graciously receive. You get everybody focused on that star. You get everybody together. They join together. It's like hooking the batteries up. And then away you go. Dive right into universal intelligence with your questions and the answers. You know that sound on your computer? The email goes out. That's the way it comes in. And it just flies into you. Is there a law of attraction? There sure is. It's a secondary law. The primary law is the law of vibration. Well, you're getting yourself into such a beautiful vibration, on such a magnificent frequency, that that's all you can attract. And you do it through the formation of a mastermind group. Study this. Dig into it. Really understand it. But apply it. Reading it isn't going to do it. Talking about it isn't going to do it. You got to get in there. You got to follow these principles and make certain everybody reads every one out loud. You might discuss each one prior to reading them. What does this really mean? Am I prepared to do this? And you go through it with each member. When they say yes, everyone, you got power. You get power on your side. You've all come together. And there's something there that you can create no other way. Now, they were brilliant people. He'll study this his entire adult life, from the time he was in his early 20s until he died in 1970. He was well up in years. All his life he studied this, and he's sharing it with us. The best thinking of some of the best thinkers. I think it'd be wise for us to make certain we do form a mastermind. We do follow the rules. We create the power, and we go where we really want to go. But you see, like with persistence, like desire, like all these other principles, it's got to be for something you really want. You've got to really want it. Want to sit quietly and say, what do I really want? What do I love doing? You see, I think it's important that we wake up in the morning and we know we're going to spend our day doing what we absolutely love to do. You're not going to put everything into something you don't love. And when it comes to your mind of what you really want, you won't know how to do it. But when you understand these principles, you know the way is here. And you know if you ask, you will receive. Seek and you'll find. It's good advice. And when you do it with the mastermind, it's not only good advice, it's powerful advice. Because there's no other way of creating great power. Now, when Carnegie said that, he meant it. When Hill passed that on, he meant it. He didn't just go by Carnegie's word. He went by the word of the 500 super successful people that he studied. And they all agreed on that one point. They might have disagreed in everything else, but they did agree. If you want power, and you're going to need it, that's how you get it. Mastermind.
Anyone can wish for riches, and most people do. But only a few know that a definite plan plus a burning desire are the only dependable means of accumulating wealth. Part of that plan must include a mastermind group. Get out your notebook. Write Power of the Mastermind in capitals at the top of the page. And then I'm going to use this principle in the following way. And then finish that sentence in your notebook. Don't overthink it. Just tune into your own powerful intuition and record on paper what comes to you. Do it now.